begin, we're going to make a row of half double crochets to form foundation chain. Start with a slip knot, make 2 chains, yarn round the hook towards you, insert it into the first chain that you made, yarn round the hook, pull through 1 loop, yarn round, pull through all 3, yarn round the hook, insert your hook into the first one you made, the 3rd loop, pull through a loop, yarn round, pull through all 3. Continue in this way until you have 43 stitches to make a bag. You can make your bag to any width you like, because this is the bottom edge of your bag. So you might want to make a small one for a phone case carry bag, or you might want to make a makeup bag, or a tote like I'm making. Just carry on like this. It's quite easy as long as you keep your work nice and loose. I'm doing this because on the next round we're going to work into this bottom edge of stitches, these single loops that we've made, but it's going to leave a nice edge, and it's going to leave the 3rd loops for us to work into on the next row. When you've made your chain, foundation chain, 43 stitches, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work backwards in mirror stitches. So this is the back facing side, not the front facing side, and we're going to work into these bottom edge stitches in reverse. So you chain 2, insert your hook into the bottom loop towards you, yarn over your hook away from you and pull through a loop, yarn over your hook away from you, it looks like almost twice, and then you pull that loop behind your first wrap around and through both of those 2 loops on your hook into each one of those. So yarn through, hook through, yarn away from you, pull through a loop, 2 loops on a hook, yarn round away from you and pull it through both 2 loops like that. This is a mirror single crochet, and we're going to do 1 into each of those loops along the bottom. I'll do a few just to show you what it looks like on the reverse. However big you're making your bag, the foundation chain has to be an odd number of stitches. That's to create symmetry with the stitches that are going to follow up the rows. So like this, it's going to look like this, and it's going to leave these front loop stitches to work into on the next row. So we're going to continue just for a little while, and then I'll show you what comes next. Now we have a foundation row, which is row 1, and we have a row of mirror single crochets coming along, and I've done 43, and now I'm going to show you row 3. So for row 3 you need to turn your work so the front side is facing you, and you chain 1, and you make 1 single crochet through both of the top loops of the first stitch like this. And now on the second stitch we're going to make a drop double crochet. It's US terms. It's a treble crochet in UK terms. So you yarn over your hook so you have 2 loops, and you drop down to this stitch here. You don't make it into that stitch on the next row, you make it in the row below into this loop here, and you insert your hook up and you pull through a loop so that you have 3. Then yarn towards you, pull through 2 loops, yarn towards you, pull through another 2 loops, and that stitch drops down to the row below. You skip 1 stitch behind that stitch that you've just made, and into the next stitch you make a back loop only single crochet. So you leave the front loop behind on this stitch, and that is so subsequent rows can drop down and hook into it just like that one has into the one below. So you miss that bottom stitch there and you miss that stitch there, you yarn around and you drop down into the front of the lower one, and repeat with a drop double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, skip the stitch behind it, move to the next one, back loop only single crochet like this, and so you continue like this all the way along, making a lovely neat row. Skip 1 into there, pull through 2, pull through 2, skip 1 behind into the next, back loop only single crochet, through 1, pull through 2. Continue like this all the way along your 43 stitches. Skip 1, pick up the lower one, skip 1 behind into the next, back loop only, yarn over, skip 1, pick up the missed one, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, skip 1 behind, back loop only, like this. So at the back you have, although you can't see very easily, you've got skipped stitches where your drop down stitches are on every other one, and we're going to pick those up on the next round, the next row. So I'll continue to the end and I'll meet you back. When you come to the end of the row, make 1 single crochet through both loops of the last stitch, and that keeps symmetry and it keeps your edges nice and neat. So both ends now should be the same, beginning and ending with a single crochet and a drop double crochet. Then we chain 1 and turn, so the back of the row is facing, the back of the work is facing you. Keeping your yarn towards you, we're going to make 1 single crochet through both of the top loops of the first stitch in a mirror stitch. So insert your hook towards you, yarn over, away from you, pull through a loop, yarn over, away from you, pull through both loops. The first stitch is a drop double crochet, so we're going to go through the back loop only of that drop down stitch, and we're going to pick up that dropped loop that we missed last time, and we're going to do a single crochet through both of those 2 loops to lock the stitches together. Yarn away from you, pull through both loops. The next stitch is just a normal back loop only mirror stitch. Yarn over, away from you, pull through, yarn over, away from you, pull through both loops. Again, it's another lock stitch. So, excuse the train, so sorry. Back loop only, and through the one that you missed, yarn over, away from you, pull through both loops, yarn over away from you, pull through both loops. Again, just a normal back loop only, single crochet and mirror, reverse, around away from you, around away from you, pull through both loops. We're going to continue in this way all the way along to the end, finishing with a single crochet mirror style. What the mirror stitches do is turn the stitches around the opposite way, as if you've made them the right way around but with your left hand or opposing hand, and it keeps everything flat and square and straight, and your work won't curl at all. It'll all sit perfectly flush and flat. So I'm just going to continue in this way, repeating those 2 stitches all the way along the row, and it's really easy to do once you get the knack of it. She says, splitting her yarn, like this. So sorry for the train noise. It's the main train line that's going past the house at the moment. They run quite regularly every 10 minutes. And I'm trying to go around them, but not having very much success. And that's what the front looks like. Again, at the end of the row, you finish with the mirror single crochet through both loops for your last stitch, and then you chain 1 mirror away like this and turn it so the front is facing you. And for row 4 we begin as usual, beginning and ending with the single crochet through both loops, and then we're above a drop down, so we make a back loop only single crochet into the first one, well, the second one above that one. The third one is in a gap, so we wrap the yarn around twice, and we're going to do a drop treble into that loop 3 rows down that we missed. Pull through a loop, yarn over towards you because it's a front facing row, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've made a treble drop that goes down in between the double drops that we did. Miss one behind, and another back loop single crochet above this one, and then a treble drops down in between to the 1, 2, 3rd row down into this one, yarn over towards you, pull through, so you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I'm going to continue in this way, miss one, make a back loop only single crochet, pull through, drop down treble, yarn round twice, drop down 1, 2, 3 rows below, pull through a loop, 4 loops on hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Repeat these stitches all the way along, finishing with a single crochet in your last stitch. And it's creating this lovely fabric with the back stitches are quite flat and neat, lovely strong fabric, and you've created a fabric that is got minimal holes and it's really strong. So I'm going to continue with this row. You can do this in rounds, but your stitches, if you do it in rounds, will spiral and they won't stay perfectly straight like they do if you do it in rows in 2 halves. we're going to make this bag in 2 halves and then make 2 handles, and then I'm going to assemble them, show you how to assemble everything together. So just continue and I'll meet you back. Row 5 is next. We've finished our single crochet and I've chained 1, and then you turn your work again and you repeat row 3. So you begin with the mirror single crochet through both loops for your first stitch. Only this time your last stitch was a back loop only, so we don't lock that one, we just do that one a normal back loop only mirror single crochet. And then we lock the second one, picking up the back loop only of the top row and the stitch that we missed on the row below, and complete a mirror lock stitch. The next stitch is a back loop only mirror single crochet. The next one is a drop down, so it's back loop only and one below back loop mirror lock stitch. Continue row 5, repeating those 2 stitches all the way along and end with a single crochet. It looks like this. At the end of row 5, I ended with this mirror single crochet and I chained 1, and we turn and we begin with a single crochet again through both loops on row 6, and we'd start with a drop down treble. From now on we only make trebles, we only do doubles on the first row of drop downs. Every other row now we repeat this sequence of trebles and a row of mirror stitches. So we just repeat, alternating between drop down trebles and back loop only single crochets. Run around twice, drop down into the third one there above your double that you made. Skipping one behind, making a back loop only above that drop down stitch below it. Yarn round twice, drop down in between, picking up that third loop. Miss one behind, back loop only above the one drop down below it. This fabric's also great for clothing. In one of my previous videos I showed a crop top, a halter neck top that I was making. I have finished that top, but I haven't yet done the video for it. So I will be showing you, but this is how to make this stitch. And can you see how there are minimal holes? You can't, once those drop downs cover it over, you can't actually see through the fabric. It's really strong and secure, so you don't have to line your bag or wear a bra under your top if you're doing it for clothing. It's really cool. So we just continue these 2 rows until we've made 42 rows for our tote bag, and we're going to do 2 sides. So you make 2 of these, 43 stitches wide by 42 rows long, and it's very simple. And then I shall meet you back to show you how to make the handles, and then we'll continue to do the assembly. Our handle begins with a slip knot. And loosely chain 2, yarn round the hook into the first chain, pull through a loop. I've missed a loop. This yarn's very splits a lot. 3 loops on hoop, yarn round, new hook, pull through all 3. Yarn round, insert, yarn round, pull through 3 loops, yarn round, pull through all 3, that's 2. Continue, we need 5. 3, 4, 5. Chain 2. Excuse the train, so sorry. Ignore this loop here on this one, and let's make mirror single crochets into these 5 bottom loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 mirror ways, turn your work this time, and you now have that. And we're going to work into these bottom loops and make drop double crochets, just like we did on the first row of the body of the bag. So yarn over hook, pick up this loop 2 rows below and make a drop double crochet. Yarn round, pull through 2, yarn round, pull through 2. Again, yarn round the hook, pick up that loop 2 rows below, yarn round the hook, pull through a loop, yarn round, pull through 2, yarn round, pull through 2. Again. That's 3. 4. And again. 5. Chain 1. Turn your work. You can find these bottom loops here, and we're going to lock them. Insert into the back of both loops, 1 row and 1 row. You can see there's a flap. We're picking up 2 from one from each row. Yarn round away from you, pull that loop through and create a mirror lock stitch into each of these loops, just like you were doing on the body of the bag, but it's very visible this time because there's a flap. We make 5 of those. Chain 1, mirror chain, turn. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to work into these loops at the top of your drop doubles. Again, yarn over, drop down at the top of that double and pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, drop down into the double, yarn over, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, repeat. We have 5 drop down doubles. That one there. Chain 1 and turn. Repeat the lock stitches through the first one and through the first one. Pull through a loop, mirror lock. In the second one, in the second one, pull through a loop and lock. In the third one, I'm sorry if you can hear noises, it's the fridge in the background. And lock. Mirror and turn, and we're going to continue in this manner, and I'm going to create 50 rows of these, so that's 100 rows altogether, but you have 50 drop down stitches for your handle, and you need to make 2, and then you will have 2 handles and 2 bags, back and front, and then we're going to assemble. So as you can see, we now have 2 sides, lovely and flat on the inside, and it's a really solid material. There are minimal holes, so you won't be losing any pennies out of this bag. If you drop any in the bottom of your bag, they'll stay in the bottom of your bag. And we have 2 straps. To assemble the bag, we're going to join them the right way around, right sides, back sides together, and we're going to start at one of these corners, work the way down the side, then we're going to go along the bottom and then up the other side, and then we're going to go around the top in a circle, positioning the handles as we go. So these handles are going to be part of the bag, and they're very secure from the top edge. And I'm going to, because we have the drop doubles here, the drop trebles rather, I'm going to mark out the points so that these are in position where I need them, and I don't forget to add them when we go around the top edge, because they're going to be joined on as we go around the top edge. So I shall mark those into position now. You can put yours wherever you like. You can put them further out if you like, or further in if you like. You might have made a smaller bag, so you might have made thinner handles or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to mark the positions and we shall begin joining our bag together. To mark where the handles are going to go, I'm just counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to mark where I need the stitches to begin and end. Now we know we have 5 stitches on the end of our handle, so I'm just going to place a marker there, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches along. To place another marker and do the same on the opposite end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hook, place a marker, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place another marker. Now we know where our handles need to be positioned when we crochet around the top edge of our bag quite clearly. You see, the handle will be joined there between the markers, in the markers. So I've done the same with both sides of the bag, and then I'm going to put them together wrong sides facing so that our bag is going to be joined like this. And I'm going to start on this edge, I'm going to come all the way down and along the bottom and up the other edge, and then we're going to do the top to finish. So to begin joining, I'm going to start with a slip knot and place that on my hook. I'm going to take hold of both sides, starting at the top corner, and the positions are really visible. When you pull these apart, you can clearly see where the holes are at the end of each round because of those single crochets that we did. So you insert your hook in the first one and put them through the first one on that side also, so they're both together. You can see how flat these are. They don't need any blocking at all. That's what the lock stitch does for you, and the mirror stitches. It's really clever. It minimises all blocking needed. So we insert through both layers and pull through a loop. I'm going to make a single crochet all the way down into each edge, stitch back and forth like this, and just create that edge all the way down. I'm going to go all the way down one edge and then all the way along the bottom. This material is super versatile for anything that you need a bit of strength for, or where you don't want holes. I've used a chunky weight yarn, it's Aran weight yarn, and a number 6mm hook. You can use any hook or yarn that you need. If you want a finer bag, you will still have the same versatility and the strong fabric with minimal holes. And like I say, it's perfect for clothing. Because the holes are minimised, it's not very see-through, and it's just beautiful. You will see if you try it. Look, we're just creating this nice neat little crochet edge, and the edges are joined together. So I'm going to continue all the way around the bag like this, just matching up the edge stitches as you go, and creating this single crochet finish all the way around. I should meet you at the bottom corner, and then we'll continue along the bottom. Just come into the corner. I'm going to complete these little couple of stitches in the corner. You can see I haven't tied any ends in yet. In the corner stitch, we'll do the corners together. I'm just going to chain one, and I'm going to go back into that corner stitch again. Coming through the 2 loops of the other side, if I can get a hold of that correctly. There you go. And then we're going to work through both loops of both edges like this, all the way along the bottom. It's great for cushion covers too. You can see it almost looks like a cushion cover. The Aran yarn I've used 1 ball for each side of the bag, a whole ball for each side, and then I've used into a 3rd ball. It wasn't a full ball for the handles, about half a ball, maybe a little bit more. So it's taken about 250 grams of Aran yarn to make this bag. So it's quite a cheap little make, and it is a bag for life because it's going to be nice and strong and sturdy. Anyway, we'll just continue all the way around, and I'll go around this corner also, and then I'll meet you at this top corner here before we come on to do the handles. You can see how it's shaping up. It's a lovely neat edge. It's very secure. So I'll see you back at the top edge. I'm now at the top edge, and I'm just going to continue into the edge stitches with a single crochet around the top. I'm going to make 2 into the corner just so that it turns a little bit, and then we'll go all the way around here with a single crochet. And when I come to where the handle has to start to join, I just do the same thing as we did and put the handle up against and go between both layers. So I'm nearly at this first join now, because we know that where this is where our first stitch of the handle comes into play. So we can remove the marker. The handle, as you can see, the back is secure, there are no holes. This is a really strong handle, so it's great for shopping. And you can just put your handle backside to backside, and you can move that out of the way, that end. You probably might want to sew your ends in first, but we just take the first stitch and the 5th stitch of the handle, go through both layers and single crochet into each one. And now we can remove that last marker, because we marked that at stitch 5, and we can take that out when we get there. And go through the final stitch of the handle. Now you can see that that is really secure because it's part of the bag now, and we can continue along the top edge until we get to the next marker, and then we can apply the other handle, the other strap. You see? Very secure. And then the other one will just come along like this, and it shall get fastened there. Make sure it's not twisted in any way. It's a very quick, simple, therapeutic thing to make, this bag. Or cushion cover, whatever you're going to do. Like I say, it doesn't need lined at all because it's a really substantial fabric. And I hope you have fun making it, because once you feel this fabric, I think you'll be coming up with lots of different ways of using it, and you can use your imagination, which is what crochet is all about. Remove that marker, put them back to back through the stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to struggle with this one. I'll switch off and I'll meet you back anyway when we're around the other side. So here it is, the finished item with all its ends sewed in. It's a beautiful, strong, sturdy bag. It holds loads, has loads of room. 2 strong handles that are attached, that are now part of the bag. It's very, very cool. I hope you enjoy making it. Thank you for watching.